Welcome back to another video on the Who Passed Today channel. In the past 24 hours, we've received sad news about the passing of some extraordinary talents. In today's episode, we dedicate this time to honor their memories and celebrate the legacies of these remarkable individuals. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support if this video or their legacy has touched your life. Please give it a like as a sign of respect. Thank you. Valerie Mahaffey, Emmy-winning actress known for Northern Exposure and Big Sky, has passed away at 71. Her husband, Joseph Kell, shared that she died on May 30th after a private battle with cancer. "I have lost the love of my life, and America has lost one of its most endearing actresses," he said. Mahaffey's work touched millions, leaving a lasting impression across television, film, and stage. With a career spanning decades, she stood out in Desperate Housewives, Young Sheldon, Dead to Me, and Echo Yast 3. On the big screen, she delivered strong performances in Sully, French Exit, Sea Biscuit, and Jungle to Jungle. She earned an Emmy for her standout role in Northern Exposure, appearing as the quirky and unforgettable Eve. Born in Indonesia, Mahaffey was raised across multiple countries before settling in Austin, Texas. There, she attended the University of Texas and later made her mark on Broadway. She starred in 6 productions and gained early recognition in the NBC soap, The Doctors, earning her first Emmy nomination. Mahaffey's final projects include a role in Echo 3 and the recent film The Eighth Day, released in March 2025. Even in her final years, her dedication to acting never faded. She has survived by her husband and their daughter, Alice. Her legacy lives on through the unforgettable character she brought to life. Loretta Swit, the Emmy-winning actress best known as Major Margaret Hot Libs Houlihan on MASH, has died at 87. She passed away on May 30th of natural causes at her home in New York City. Her role as the bold head nurse on the iconic CBS series earned her 2 Emmys and 4 Golden Globe nominations, making her one of the most recognized faces on television during the show's 11-season run. Sweet's career extended far beyond MASH. She appeared in hit shows like Hawaii 5, Gunsmoke, Mission, Impossible, Bonanza, and Batman, the animated series. In film, she took on roles in Race with the Devil, So the Best Christmas Pageant Ever. She remained active in theater as well, starring in Broadway productions like Same Time, Next Year, and Shirley Valentine, and earning the Sarah Sittons Award in 1991. Her final on-screen appearance came in the 2019 film Play the Flute, and she was expected to appear in a new project titled Second Chances. Off-screen, Sweet was also an accomplished painter and animal rights advocate. Her 2017 book, Sweetheart, featured her artwork and supported animal welfare causes. Though she never had children, she described her life as full, devoted to her craft, her causes, and her close circle of friends. With a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and a career that left a lasting impact, Loretta Sweet's legacy lives on through the powerful roles she brought to life. James Lowe, frontman of the Electric Prunes and voice behind the classic hit I Had Tooch to Dream Last Night, has died at 82. His family confirmed he passed peacefully on May 22nd, surrounded by music and loved ones. Lowe led the Prunes to the top of the charts in the late 1960s, becoming a pioneer of psychedelic rock with a sound that blended fuzz guitar, reverse effects, and wild studio experimentation that defined a generation. After the band's first run ended, Lowe turned to engineering and producing, working with artists like Todd Rundgren and Sparks. In the 1970s, he stepped away from music, starting a second chapter in industrial film, but the spark never left him. In the late 90s, he brought the Electric Prunes back together with original members and began performing again, reviving the spirit of the garage psych era for a new wave of fans. One of his standout moments came in 2023 when he performed their iconic track live at a tribute show for Nuggets, the influential rock compilation that helped cement his legacy. Lowe's creativity stretched beyond music. He directed children's shows, built his dream home in California, and traveled with his wife Pamela, who remained his partner for over 6 decades. He was also a proud father and grandfather in every role: artist, producer, performer. He stayed true to his vision. As his family said, James was a visionary, a dreamer, a doer, always creating, exploring, lifting others up. His legacy lives through the music, the memories, and the fans who still blast that unmistakable electric buzz that kicked off "I Had Too Much to Dream." James Lowe had his own way, and the world listened. Nico McKnight, son of singer Brian McKnight and ex-wife Julie McKnight, has died after a 2-year battle with cancer. He was a talented musician, guitarist, and photographer who once performed alongside his father and brother in their group, Might. News of his passing was shared on May 30th by his uncle Claude McKnight, who honored Nico's creativity, spirit, and strength. In a heartfelt video, Claude described Nico as quirky, curious, and ridiculously talented, with a love for music, visuals, and connection. Despite the complex family dynamics, Claude chose to focus on Nico's legacy and the joy he brought to those around him. "I love you, Nico," he said. "You're out of pain now." Nico had shared his cancer journey publicly, remaining optimistic and open. In early 2024, he wrote about fighting the big C and praised his wife for supporting him through the hardest times. In one update, he described feeling hope again, eating, sleeping, and slowly recovering. Even when things were tough, he stayed positive, asking for love and humor, never pity. Though his relationship with his father was strained in recent years, Nico remained a creative force with a passionate following. He leaves behind a legacy of music, photography, and resilience. His story continues to inspire those who followed his journey with love and respect. Rick Derringer, legendary guitarist, singer, and songwriter, has died at 77. Known for the rock anthem Rock and Roll, Hoochie Coo, and the wrestling theme Real American, Derringer's influence spanned decades and genres. He passed away on May 26th in Orrin Beach, Florida. Surrounded by his wife, Jenda, and close friend Tony Wilson, who confirmed the news online. His music left a powerful mark on fans and fellow artists alike, making him a staple in both classic rock and pop culture. Born in Ohio, Derringer shot to fame in 1965 as the frontman of the McCoys, whose single Hang On Sloopy hit #1 on the Billboard charts. He later joined forces with Johnny Winter and Edgar Winter, laying the foundation for a solo career that exploded with the release of his debut album, All American Boy. His signature hit, Rock and Roll, Hoochie Coo, became a defining track of the 70s rock era. Rick's talent extended beyond performance. He was a highly sought-after session musician and producer. He worked with icons like Steely Dan, Alice Cooper, Cyndi Lauper, Kiss, Todd Rundgren, Barbra Streisand, and Richie Havens. He also helped launch Weird Al Yankovic's career, producing some of his most iconic parodies and earning a Grammy in the process. His music crossed into politics too, with Real American used by figures like Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Donald Trump. Later in life, Derringer explored new sounds, releasing smooth jazz albums and touring with Ringo Starr's all-star band. His energy on stage never faded, and his songs continued to inspire generations. Rick Derringer's legacy lives on through unforgettable riffs, bold creativity, and a fearless commitment to his sound. Jeff Margolius, a celebrated television director and producer behind some of Hollywood's most iconic award shows, passed away on May 23, 2025, in Nashville, Tennessee. He was 78. His family confirmed the news, though a cause of death was not released. Margolis was best known for his work directing the Oscars, Emmys, Screen Actors Guild Awards, and the American Music Awards, helping shape televised award ceremonies for over 4 decades. The Screen Actors Guild Awards Committee shared a public tribute, noting, "Jeff Margolis created some of the most unforgettable moments in award show history. We are profoundly grateful for his contributions and will miss him dearly. Over his long career, Margolis directed 22 American Music Awards, 8 Academy Awards, 7 SEI Awards, and multiple Emmy and Golden Globe specials. His calm, collaborative leadership was widely admired in the industry. Margolis often credited his success to a leadership style grounded in mutual respect and warmth. "I've maintained a principle of never raising my voice. I focus on building a family-like atmosphere," he once said. That approach earned him deep respect from performers and crews alike. He worked closely with legends such as Frank Sinatra, Michael Jackson, Elizabeth Taylor, and Cher, often bringing a personal touch to high-pressure productions. He earned 2 Directors Guild of America awards for directing the Oscars and received 6 Emmy nominations, including a win for the 1995 Academy Awards and Sammy Davis Jr.'s 60th anniversary celebration. His work helped define the tone and visual language of award shows for generations, balancing glamour with heartfelt celebration. Margolis is survived by his family and a long list of colleagues who deeply respected him. Many in the entertainment community described him as a kind and steady force behind the scenes. Collaboration was key for Jeff. A longtime associate noted he made every person on set feel like their voice mattered. His absence will be deeply felt, but the impact of his work continues to be seen by millions every award season. George Wendt, the Emmy-nominated actor beloved for his role as Norm Peterson on the long-running sitcom Cheers, passed peacefully in his sleep at home on May 20, 2025. He was 76. The news was confirmed by his publicist, Melissa Nathan, who shared with People George was a doing family man, a well-loved friend and confidant. He will be missed forever. The cause of death has not been disclosed, and the family has asked for privacy during this time. Wendt's career was shaped by humility and humor. A Chicago native, he began his journey in comedy at the Second City, where he met his wife, Bernadette Burkett. Though he admitted to struggling early on, he eventually found his footing and went on to become a familiar face on American television. In 1982, he landed the role of Norm Peterson on Cheers. With over a decade of appearances, Wendt was one of only 3 cast members to appear in every episode of the series, earning 6 Emmy nominations for his portrayal. Known for his warm presence and quick delivery, Wendt once said, "Norm is just me with better writing." His time on Cheers created lifelong bonds with castmates, including Ted Danson, Rhea Perlman, Kelsey Grammer, and John Ratzenberger. After the series ended in 1993, Wendt stayed active in film, theater, and television. He hosted Saturday Night Live, starred in his own short-lived sitcom, The George Wendt Show, and made appearances in series like Seinfeld, Portlandia, and The Masked Singer. Beyond television, Wendt found success on stage, including Broadway roles in Hairspray and Elf. He was often cast as Santa Claus, a role he embraced with humor. "It's really hard to eat much with all that hair on," he joked in 2022 about the beard. He also remained connected to his Cheers roots, reuniting with cast members at events like the 2023 Emmy Awards. Known for his grounded nature, he often said he was simply looking for fun things to do. Wendt is survived by his wife Bernadette and their 3 children. His legacy lives on in the comfort his performances brought to generations of viewers. A quote from a 2019 interview perhaps sums up his outlook best. Chris Hager, the original guitarist and co-founder of the band that would become Rat, Chris Hager passed away on May 19, 2025 at the age of 67. His passing was confirmed by longtime bandmate and friend Stephen Peary in a post on Instagram. No cause of passing has been publicly shared. Peary described Hager as an amazing person, a great guitarist, songwriter, and so committed to being just that. Hager passed away after decades in the rock music scene, where he left a meaningful mark on the glam metal sound of the 1980s. Hager and Peary first met in 1976 and went on to form the band Mickey Rat in San Diego. They moved to Los Angeles in the late 1970s and eventually shortened the band's name to R.A.T. by 1981, the same year Hager departed. Though he left before the group's mainstream rise, his early contributions were essential to its foundation. He later joined the band Rough Cut and remained active in music throughout his life, including recent collaborations with Peary on a new project. In his 2021 interview with Vinyl Writer Music, Hager recalled the origins of Mickey Rat with a sense of humor. P.I. had created the name as a playful contrast to Mickey Mouse, imagining the character as a flawed, rebellious figure. It was sort of funny because there were a few parallels there. Hager said the spirit of the band matched the energy of the growing hard rock scene in California at the time. Even after parting ways with Rat, Hager stayed close with Peary and contributed to other bands and studio projects. Peary noted they had recently been writing new music together and expressed deep sadness over Hager's passing. "I'm at a loss, my friend," he wrote. "We've been through a lot together. God bless you, brother." Eric Fentinos, Peary's solo guitarist, also paid tribute, saying, "This is very sad news. I've known Kris for over 30 years. Hager is remembered not only for his role in shaping early glam metal, but for his long-standing friendships and steady presence in the music world. Though his name may not have been as prominent as some of his successors in Rat, those who knew him describe a talented and dedicated musician who helped lay the groundwork for a band that influenced a generation. He has survived by friends, collaborators, and fans who continue to appreciate the music he helped create." Daniel Williams, a former drummer for the metalcore band The Devil Wears Prada, was among 6 people killed in a private plane crash early Thursday, May 22nd, in San Diego, California. The crash occurred around a.m. near Montgomery Gibbs Executive Airport and led to fires damaging multiple homes. News of Williams' passing was shared by his fiancée Hannah Ray on Instagram the next day, revealing the heartbreaking coincidence that it happened on the couple's 14th anniversary. "My entire world is in shambles," she wrote. "The hole you've left in all of our lives and hearts cannot be measured." Williams played with The Devil Wears Prada from 2005 to 2016, contributing to the band's most notable years as it gained popularity in the metalcore scene. The band also confirmed his passing in a short but emotional post, "No words, we owe you everything, love you forever." A tribute photo series accompanied their message, showing Williams during past performances and tour moments in her post. Ray, a photographer and social media creator, described Williams as her best friend and biggest supporter, saying, "You truly showed me the kind of love people might only ever experience once in a lifetime." She added that she would continue to do her best every day in his honor. Their long relationship, which began in 2011, was filled with memories, including travels abroad and quiet moments at home, some of which she shared in her memorial post. Fellow musicians and friends also paid tribute, including Vic Fuentes of Pierce the Veil, who said, "I'll never stop talking to him and thinking of all the good times we all shared. We'll take him with us always." Williams was remembered not only for his talent, but also for his kindness and the encouragement he offered others. In the music community, the San Diego County Coroner's Office confirmed the identities of all 6 crash victims. Alongside Williams were Dave Shapiro, a music agent, Selena Marie Rose Kenyon, Emma L. Huke, Kendall Forner, and Dominic Damian. The San Diego Police Department expressed condolences to the families and assured continued investigation into the crash. Williams' life and legacy, while cut short, left a lasting impression on those who knew and worked with him. Alan Alda. In the ever-changing landscape of American entertainment, few figures have remained as enduring, beloved, and quietly transformative as Alan Alda. For more than 6 decades, Alda has not only entertained audiences, but also challenged the boundaries of what it means to be a performer, a storyteller, and a human being with a deep sense of empathy and curiosity. Through a remarkable career that has spanned television, film, theater, science, communication, and advocacy, Alda has become far more than a household name. He has become a voice of reason and warmth in a noisy world. Alda's rise to prominence began with a role that would come to define both his career and a generation. Benjamin Franklin Hawkeye Pierce on the groundbreaking television series MASH. Airing from 1972 to 1983, MASH combined sharp comedy with biting social commentary, all set against the backdrop of the Korean War. Alda's portrayal of the wisecracking, compassionate army surgeon struck a chord with viewers. But what truly made his performance stand out was his refusal to allow the character to exist only on the surface. Underneath the humor, there was always a pulse of humanity, an understanding of pain, loss, absurdity, and hope. What many don't know is that Alda wasn't just the face of MASH. He was one of its creative pillars. Over the show's 11 seasons, he wrote or co-wrote 19 episodes, directed 32, and helped guide the series to its poignant, widely viewed finale, Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen. A cultural moment that drew in more than 100 million viewers in the U.S. alone. For Alda, storytelling was never just about entertainment. It was about connecting to others and trying to make sense of a chaotic world. His talents extended well beyond the boundaries of one iconic role. On stage, Alda received critical acclaim for his work on Broadway in shows like The Apple Tree, Jake's Women, and Glengarry Glen Ross, earning multiple Tony Award nominations. In film, he revealed surprising range. From his Oscar-nominated turn as the smarmy Senator Owen Brewster in Martin Scorsese's The Aviator to his understated performances in Woody Allen's Crimes and Misdemeanors and Manhattan Murder Mystery, Alda could just as easily unsettle as comfort. But perhaps what sets Alan Alda apart is not only his artistry, but the way he has consistently used his platform to deepen public understanding. From 1993 to 2005, he served as host of Scientific American Frontiers, a PBS program that brought complex scientific ideas into everyday language. What made Alda such a compelling host wasn't that he was a scientist. It was that he was curious. He asked the questions the average viewer might be too shy to ask. He leaned in, listened intently, and made people feel seen. That openness, so rare, especially in public figures, became a trademark. In fact, his passion for communication became a calling. After his time on Scientific American Frontiers, Alda founded the Alan Alda Center for Communicating Science at Stony Brook University. The center helped scientists, doctors, and professionals learn how to better explain their work to the public. Alda believed and still believes that communication is a moral responsibility, especially when the stakes are high, as they often are in science and health. Even after being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2015, Alda never stepped back from life. He continued acting, appearing in series like The West Wing, 30 Rock, and Ray Donovan, and speaking about his condition with characteristic candor and optimism. "I'm not angry," he told CBS This Morning shortly after going public. "It's part of life. I've had a full life and I want to keep going." And he has. In recent years, Alda launched Clear Vivid, a podcast where he speaks with a wide range of guests about human connection, empathy, and yes, how we communicate. Whether he's talking to Jane Goodall, Yo-Yo Ma, or a neuroscientist exploring brain plasticity, Alda brings the same warmth and insight that made him a legend in the first place. At 88, Alan Alda remains a quiet giant, not because he has demanded attention, but because he has earned trust. He has always brought a deep sense of respect to his work, a sense that every role, every question, every word matters. Whether through the laugh of an audience, the epiphany of a student, or the subtle nod of someone watching from afar, Alda's work has reached people in a lasting way. We live in a time when authenticity is often packaged and sold. Alan Alda, however, has never been anything but himself, funny, thoughtful, curious, and endlessly human. In a career full of awards, including 6 Emmys, a Golden Globe, a SAG Lifetime Achievement Award, and an induction into the Television Hall of Fame. It's this enduring humanity that has become his most powerful legacy. He once said, "Real listening is a willingness to let the other person change you." In a world where so many talk and so few truly listen, Alan Alda chose the latter, and in doing so, he changed us. If you've ever found it difficult to connect, whether with family, friends, or even with yourself, Alan Alda's life offers a quiet reminder of what truly matters. Through empathy, attentive listening, and a lifelong curiosity about others, he showed us that meaningful connection isn't about having the right words, but about being fully present. His example gently encourages us to choose kindness, not just as a virtue, but as a daily practice. Take a moment to reflect, to share this tribute with someone who might be moved by it, and to carry forward the spirit Alan embodied. In remembering him, we are reminded of what's possible when we listen deeply, speak gently, and care genuinely. Let's keep listening. Let's keep learning. Let's keep caring. Whiz Jones, a beloved figure of the British folk revival and a major influence on generations of musicians, passed away peacefully just 2 days after his 86th birthday. His son, Simeon, announced the news on his father's official social media pages, writing, "With an extremely heavy heart, I'm letting you all know that my beloved father passed away early this morning." He added that Whiz had experienced a rapid decline in health and expressed gratitude to Trinity Hospice for their care in his final days. Born Raymond Ronald Jones in Thornton Heath, Surrey in 1939, Whiz was raised in a working-class family and given his nickname Whizzy by his mother. Originally a young magician inspired by a comic strip character, he later channeled that sense of wonder into music. By the late 1950s, he was performing in Soho's coffee houses, learning guitar from contemporaries like Davy Graham and Long John Baldry. His early busking travels through Paris and Marrakesh added flavor to his distinctive acoustic finger-picking style. Although his recording career didn't begin until the mid-1960s, Jones became a mainstay of the folk scene. His self-titled debut arrived in 1969, and over the next 2 decades, he released a steady stream of albums and collaborated with artists like Ralph M. Tell and John Renbourn. He joined traditional folk groups like Lazy Farmer and appeared briefly in the band Accolade. Despite flying under the mainstream radar, he was admired by major names. Throughout his life, Jones remained modest. Speaking to the Orpington Folk Club, he once shared a story about his longtime companion, a 1963 Epiphone Texan guitar, which he nearly lost on a flight. "Whenever I borrow a guitar, I realize just how good this one is," he said with quiet affection. His deep connection to his instrument reflected the simplicity and honesty of his music, which resonated far beyond the venues he played. Whiz gave his final performance at London's Ivy House on February 28, 2025. At the close of the show, he addressed the audience with gratitude. "Thanks to all the people all over the world, in fact, that heard my songs and my guitar playing and came to my gigs for all those years. Thank you very much." In those few words, Whiz Jones left behind a memory of warmth and quiet grace that will continue to echo in the hearts of folk music lovers around the world. Peter Kwang, best known for playing Rain in Big Trouble in Little China, has passed away in his sleep at age 73. His role as one of the powerful martial arts enforcers in the 1986 cult classic made him a standout presence alongside Kurt Russell and Kim Cattrall. While the film didn't hit big at the box office, it became a fan favorite over time and secured Kwang's place in pop culture history. A Sacramento native, Kwang also appeared in hit shows like the A-Team Wonder Woman, Miami Vice, and MacGyver. That same year, he starred in The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy and Never Too Young to Die with John Stamos. His talent reached far beyond the screen off camera. Kwang was a major force in Hollywood. He served on the SIG and AFA national boards, helped lead the Television Academy, and was part of the Academy's Actors Branch Committee. He worked hard to support fellow performers and shape a better industry. Peter Kwong's legacy lives on through iconic roles and a career that broke barriers. Stay with us to see how his impact is still felt in the world of film and beyond. Michael Sumler, known to fans as Chicago, Mike has passed away at age 71 following a car accident in Mapleton, Georgia over Memorial Day weekend. A beloved member of Kool and the Gang. Sumler wasn't just a performer, he was a force of energy on stage, a stylist, a choreographer, and a longtime wardrobe valet who made sure the band shined night after night. His journey with the iconic R&B group began in 1985, when his dynamic stage presence quickly earned him a spot beyond the sidelines, stepping into the spotlight as a backup vocalist and crowd motivator, originally part of a local Chicago band called Power Pack. Sumler's big break came when a Kool and the Gang security guard saw him perform and invited him to meet the group in Minneapolis. From there, he became an essential part of their touring family, eventually energizing crowds across the globe. Even after his years on stage, Sumler continued supporting the group through Lul Champagne events, always bringing his signature style and charisma wherever he went. The city of Mapleton honored him in a public statement, remembering him as a music legend whose influence extended far beyond the stage. Kool and the Gang also paid tribute, expressing their deep sorrow and gratitude for his years of dedication and unforgettable presence. Sumler's legacy is part of a band that gave us timeless hits like Celebration Jungle Boogie and Ladies Night, as Kool and the Gang continues touring and celebrating milestones, the memory of Chicago. Mike remains front and center, an irreplaceable part of their story. Ed Gale, the actor who physically brought the terrifying Chucky doll to life in the original Child's Play films, has passed away at age 61. He died in hospice care in Los Angeles, and while no cause of death has been officially shared, his family described the loss as sudden. Gale was known for his unforgettable performances in cult classics like Howard the Duck Spaceballs and Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town, but it was his work as Chucky that cemented his legacy. In horror history, Gale's career spanned more than 130 films, TV shows, and commercials. He first broke onto the big screen in 1986 and continued to make an impact with standout roles in Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and The Polar Express. Behind the scenes, he was loved for his humor, passion for storytelling, and his iconic laugh. Director Tom Holland praised him for helping sell the fear of Chucky through his physical performance, calling him an essential part of what made the doll so chilling. Friends and fans alike are remembering Gale not only for his work in film, but for his larger-than-life personality. Known for being the fun uncle, he was a devoted family man who loved sharing his Hollywood stories from roller rinks to movie sets. Ed Gale lived with energy, ambition, and boldness, and his legacy will live on through every scene he lit up. Rick Derringer, legendary guitarist, singer, and songwriter behind hits like Rock and Roll, Hoochie Coo, and Real American, has passed away at the age of 77. Known for his fiery stage presence and genre-spanning collaborations, Derringer died on May 26th in Orland Beach, Florida, surrounded by his wife Jenda and close friend Tony Wilson, while no official cause of death was given. He had recently undergone surgery in March. His passing marks the end of a powerful musical legacy that touched rock, pop, jazz, and even pro wrestling. Born in Ohio, Derringer rose to fame as the frontman of the McCoys with their 1965 chart-topping hit, Hang On Sloopy. He later joined forces with rock icons Johnny Winter and Edgar Winter, before launching his solo career with the 1973 album All-American Boy. That album produced Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, which became his signature anthem beyond the spotlight. Rick was a prolific session musician, playing alongside legends like Steely Dan, Alice Cooper, Cyndi Lauper, Barbra Streisand, and Kiss, bringing his guitar magic to countless records. Rick also made waves behind the scenes. He helped launch Weird Al Yankovic's career producing parody hits like Eat It and Who's Fat, and even earned a Grammy for his production work. His song Real American became an iconic wrestling theme later embraced in politics by figures like Obama and Trump in the 2000s. Daringer shifted into smooth jazz and toured with Ringo Starr's all-star band, proving his musical range never faded. Rick's influence is woven into decades of music history, and his sound will live on. George Wendt, best known for playing Norm Peterson on the iconic sitcom Cheers, has passed away. At 76, the news was confirmed by his family, a beloved figure in television history. Wendt appeared in every episode of the show and earned 6 Emmy nominations for his role, winning over millions with his charm and humor. Born in Chicago, Wendt began his comedy career at the Second City before Cheers. He made guest appearances on shows like MASH and Taxi. His portrayal of Norm, the lovable beer-loving regular at the bar, became one of the most recognizable faces on TV in the 1980s. After the series, he continued working steadily in film, TV, and theater, appearing in Seinfeld, The Simpsons, and even starring on Broadway in Hairspray in 2023. Wendt reunited with the Cheers cast at the Emmys, touching fans worldwide. He also became known for playing Santa Claus in several holiday productions, and for his role in the iconic SNL sketch Da Bears. To Wendt, acting was about enjoying the craft. His advice for new actors: if you're not having fun, it's not worth it. George, Wendt leaves behind a legacy of laughter and unforgettable moments in television history. Kathleen Hughes, classic Hollywood actress best remembered for her role in the 1953 sci-fi film It Came from Outer Space, has passed away at the age of 96. Her death was confirmed by longtime friend John Gann Griffin A. Till, born in Los Angeles as Elizabeth Margaret von Gherkin. She was the niece of playwright F. Hugh Herbert. After signing with Fox in 1948, her name was changed, and her film career began with early roles in Mother is a Freshman and Mr. Belvedere Goes to College. Her breakout moment came at Universal International, where she starred in It Came from Outer Space. A single publicity still, arms raised mid-scream, became iconic, featured on birthday cards and ads for decades. I walked into the still gallery, the cameraman told me to scream, and I did. That image lived on forever, she recalled in a 2019 interview. She later appeared alongside Rock Hudson in The Golden Blade, sharing his first on-screen kiss, and reunited with director Jack Arnold in The Glass Web in the 60s and 70s. Hughes transitioned to television with roles in The Ghost and Mrs. Muir-Bracken's World, and guest spots on I Dream of Jeannie Mash and Mission Impossible. She was married to producer Stanley Rubin for 59 years. Kathleen Hughes leaves behind a lasting mark on both film and TV history. Tina Elg, Finnish-born actress and dancer who rose to fame in Hollywood's golden era, has died at the age of 95. She passed away on May 15th in Helsinki, where she had returned to live after decades in the U.S. Known for her elegance and grace, LG starred opposite Gene Kelly in the 1957 musical Less Girls, earning a Golden Globe alongside co-star Kay Kendall. That role, filled with charm and Cole Porter's melodies, cemented her place in cinema history. Her film success continued with The 39 Steps, 1959, where she portrayed the schoolteacher caught in a web of espionage. A trained ballerina, LG began performing with the Finnish National Ballet at just 10 and studied at top institutions across Europe before being discovered by an MGM producer in London. Hollywood soon followed with roles in Gabby the Prodigal and Imitation General in the 70s and 80s. LG found new life on Broadway, receiving a Tony nomination for Where's Charlie and appearing in 9 with Raul Julia. She also gained popularity on American TV, especially for her dramatic role as Olympia Buchanan in One Life to Live. LG leaves behind a legacy of glamour talent and international acclaim. Her son, jazz guitarist Ral Beakenheim, survives her. Joe Don Baker, veteran Hollywood actor known for his commanding screen presence, has died at 89. His family confirmed the news, noting that he passed away peacefully on May 7th, with a career that spanned nearly 50 years. Baker appeared in iconic films like Cool Hand Luke, The Natural Cape Fear, and 3 James Bond movies, first as a villain in The Living Daylights, and later as a CIA ally in GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies Born in Texas. In 1936, Baker earned a college scholarship through athletics and later served in the U.S. Army before studying acting in New York at the famed Actor Studio. His breakout role came in the 70s, leading to a respected career across film and television. He earned a BAFTA nomination in 1986 for the acclaimed miniseries Edge of Darkness, known for his quiet charisma and deep compassion. Baker was remembered by loved ones as a kind soul with a deep love for animals, books, and nature. His final screen role was in Mud 2012 alongside Matthew McConaughey. Though he had no children, Baker is survived by relatives in his hometown of Quebec and a close circle of lifelong friends who will miss him. Joan O'Brien, actress and singer known for starring alongside legends like Cary Grant, Elvis Presley, and John Wayne, has died at age 89. Her daughter confirmed the news on Wednesday. With beauty, comedic timing, and a clear voice, Joan made her mark in classic films of the late 50s and early 60s, often playing charming, spirited nurses and love interests. She gained attention in Operation Petticoat 1959, playing the clumsy Second Lieutenant Dolores Crannell opposite Cary Grant in It Happened at the World's Fair 1963. She starred as the nurse who wins over Elvis Presley's character after a staged injury leads to romance atop the Space Needle. That same year, she showed her musical talents on The Dick Van Dyke Show, blending acting and singing effortlessly, a versatile performer. Joan also worked with John Wayne in The Alamo and The Comancheros and held her own in comedies alongside Jerry Lewis and musical acts like the Dave Clark Five. She began her career singing on The Bob Crosby Show and appeared on The Lawrence Welk Show. Though she stepped away from acting in the mid-1960s, Joan continued to sing with Harry James's band. She was married multiple times and spent her later years out of the spotlight. Joan O'Brien leaves behind a legacy of charm, talent, and unforgettable performances from Hollywood's golden age. Kirk Metis, known for his time on Floor Shore, has died at just 33 years old. The reality TV personality passed away after being hospitalized with a severe case of necrotizing pancreatitis, which later led to liver failure. According to his family, Kirk had been in the ICU for 2 weeks, sedated and on a ventilator as loved ones prayed for a miracle that sadly never came. MTV released a heartfelt statement mourning the loss of one of the show's most beloved cast members, calling Kirk a beloved member of the Florima Shore family. Castmates Nilsa Prawant and Candace Hall shared emotional tributes and updates throughout his battle with Hall, revealing the moment she felt his passing before the call even came. A dolphin appeared near her on the beach, a symbol the two once shared as if to say goodbye, from 2017 to 2020. Kirk appeared in 25 episodes of the MTV series, winning over fans with his humor, warmth, and uplifting energy. Known for his big heart and infectious laugh, Kirk was described by friends as the one who held everyone together, always showing up with love and loyalty. His passing leaves a deep void in the lives of those who knew him and in the hearts of countless fans who followed his journey.